Hi friends, I hope you all are doing great. It's me, Nikki here, and today I'm going to share with you my tips on how to keep the family fights out of your home this holiday season so that you totally have a home that is only filled with joy, fun, and laughs. So let's get started. So friends, are you nervous about the holidays for whatever reason? It may be you're having a little strife with a family member, it may be an in-law, it may be a sibling, or the climate we're in, it's, voting time, with politics, everybody has different views, you're bringing them all together, you don't know what's going to happen. There's so many things that really can disrupt a home in bringing that joy during the holiday season when it comes to the different personalities and different family dynamics and situations. And so I want to share with you some tips on things that you can do to really combat that this holiday season so that you really have a house filled with joy. So the first tip, friends, is to set the tone for the holidays. Let the family know how you will be spending the holidays in the home. Create a beautiful agenda of fun events so that they can see what's happening. Make sure they know what they're supposed to do to participate. Make it fun and upbeat, kind of get everybody pumped. Be a hype man for the holidays. Get the mood established, and that can be huge. Also, just be sure to communicate with every family member. If you have that sister that you talk with every day, but you have a sister that you only talk with once a week, you want to make sure that you still communicate the same across the board for the holidays with every family member, so that one, that really sets the tone, and two, it shows that everybody is all inclusive and nobody's being treated differently, nobody is preferred over the other one, and you're just taking that leadership role in your home to really set the tone for how joyous this is going to be and what everybody should do, they should bring, and all of that good stuff. The other thing about the communication part of it, that is going to be key because that can prevent arguments. So if you make sure that everybody knows what dish they're supposed to bring and they also know the dish of what the other person's supposed to bring, there's total transparency, it can cut down on arguments, So just make sure that you really communicate well as the host of the holidays and communicate to everyone so that can really combat any arguments. And also in saying that, knowing everyone who's participating, it's important that you kind of share, this is our family gathering. Here's everyone who has agreed to say they were coming there. One thing that I always love doing at the holidays is if I'm hosting Christmas, at the beginning of the month, I send out a kind of an invitation, and the invitation is always something tangible. So it may be a stocking with fun items that represent what we will be doing for Christmas Day. It may be a box that symbolizes what we're doing, all the events that we're doing. One of the things that you all know, if you've been with me a while, one of the traditions that we do in our family is rewrite a letter to Jesus on Christmas because it's his birthday, and in that letter we give him a gift, and it may be something we give up like smoking or drinking or watching something we don't have no business watching on TV. So whatever we give him, we write a letter to him, happy birthday and all of that. We put it in a special box. And so that's a tradition. And so in your invitation, you can include something about that. You can put the stationery in there. You can put a little game in there representing that, you're going to have fun with games. Just be creative with it, but it's a great way to just kind of bring unity to the family, get the family excited about the holidays. Also, they see the amount of effort that you're putting into it. So hopefully, not all families, but hopefully they will be on their best behavior because of that. So you just really have the opportunity to set the tone. The next is don't expect the day to be perfect. Now, we're dealing with our families here. We know that it's not going to be perfect. Over the years, I have shared with you all of my Christmas prep, and you've seen my tablescapes and me getting ready for my family. But one thing you have not seen is you have not seen the craziness of when they get here, and my family can be just wild. And so it's a lot of fun, but they're all over the place, and it's just, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And so it is going to be perfect in the fact that you're going to be creating memories. Everyone's going to be having fun. And that's the type of perfection that I think you focus on, is just everybody leaving with a beautiful experience. Keep it simple. But, don't feel like you have to have every napkin perfectly folded, every drink perfectly poured. If you get into that, then the focus is taken away from really the family. Now, I do encourage you to have fun doing tablescapes and to have fun beautifying your space for that experience. But the overall, making the total top tier goal be for your family to be happy and to have a good time. Another way to combat family fights is to have a ton of activities ready, have all the fun ready to roll so that they don't have time to argue. There's things that you're doing, you're playing games, have different sections. You may play cards at this table where 4 family members are here. Another family upstairs in the den may be playing Monopoly. Create those different stations where not all the family is in one spot together, but maybe there's different zones, so that if you have those 2 family members that no matter what you do, they cannot get along, they still can both enjoy themselves and be in that same environment, but they're not just on top of each other where it can tend to get ugly, but everyone can still be there together and have a good time. Another thing I would say is don't make things or activities where the family has to participate. You know what? I like to create a relaxing vibe that if you want to participate, you do. If you don't, you don't. If you want to just go lay in the bed and watch Christmas movies, that's what you do. If you want to go on the back porch and just have some eggnog, that's what you do. And so I've always, even though I've planned several activities during my Christmas entertaining, I've never made it so that everybody come to the living room, we're getting ready to do that. No, it was almost like it was just there. It was just stations. If I was doing a wine tasting, anybody who wanted to do the wine tasting, they would come over and do it. If it's playing Monopoly, if anybody who wants to play Monopoly, they play. But if you wanted to go take a nap, that's what you do. I think what that does is that just creates a comfortable environment to accommodate everybody, because someone may not be feeling well. They just want to relax this Christmas, and they're able to do that and still be around the family, which again, what that does is it reduces stress for your family members, which then reduces tension and the potential for arguments. Another tip, friends, is to remind yourself that this is temporary. This is just going to be 3 days, 2 days that your family is here. And so you want to just really just know that that's what it is. And then you're going to be back to life after that. So in the event that something does happen or things get a little testy, you know that this is a temporary situation and you're going to have your house back soon. So, go into it knowing that, because everything, again, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to expect it to be perfect. And when we anticipate things, if they do happen, it's easier because we've already figured this may happen. So if it happens, I'm just going to roll with the flow. You've already kind of set your tone of how you're going to react and how you're going to handle something without stressing over it. The other thing, friends, is to be forgiving. You may have an issue with a family member right now that you're like, I'm not trying to see them for Christmas. I just don't want to do it. This is my holiday. I encourage you to just put that thought process in the background and say, you know what? I'm going to forgive this person. I'm going to love this person. It's not worth it, because in the end, one day, we're all going to leave this earth, and you don't want to let an argument or something here that you thought about dictate your relationship with someone that you love. And so it's just not worth it, because when one of you are gone, you're going to regret that you even had that moment. So I say this is the season for forgiveness. Forgive, and talk it out with yourself before you even start planning your holidays. If you have that sister that you're not talking to, just say, you know what? This is the season that I'm going to extend that olive branch, and I'm going to make amends. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to love on this person, and we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful holiday season. Use this season as an opportunity to rectify the things that are going on with your family members now. And in that, just if it's tough, because we do have those people in our lives that it is just tough to deal with them. And so what you might want to do for the holidays is just say, you know what? I'm going to give them a pardon. I'm going to give them the pardon for the holidays. I'm going to just pretend like this is a season where they got a clean slate. And then after the holidays, they go back home. I have my home, and then we're good to go. So it's important to think about those difficult family members, because it's not only about you, it may be about your kids. So even if you're fighting with your sister, that is still the aunt to your children, and you don't want to deprive them the opportunity of quality time with their family members. So just because we have an issue with a family member or we're having something going on doesn't mean that everybody in the family is having that same issue. And so you want to really be that beautiful soul that says, although we're having our struggles, I'm not going to let that inhibit growth and love and all the beautiful things that can come into my house from the other relationships that person may have. The other thing, friends, is acceptance. I don't know that there's anyone that just has that perfect family. If you do, I would be curious to see what that looks like. But with your family and with your friends, I think it's important to get to a point of acceptance. They are who they are, and love them for who they are, and then set those boundaries that are necessary to engage with that family member, to be around that family member. And so it's about, you really can release yourself from a lot of stress when you forgive forgive others, and when you accept them for who they are. And so think about this season for those family members that, you're just kind of having that dreading feeling of having to deal with them during holidays. Just switch your mindset and say, you know what? I'm going to accept that's how they are. I don't have to agree with how they are, but I'm going to accept it so that I can move forward, so that I can have peace with it, and so that we can celebrate the holidays beautifully. Another tip, friends, if you have that family that can get a little crazy, minimize the amount of alcohol that you have at the holidays, because alcohol really can be a bad thing when it comes to, personalities and fights, and especially during the holidays when the folks start tipping away those drinks, they start getting loose in the lips, and then that's when everything comes out, and that can be a recipe for disaster. But in the end, your family, how everybody functions. So if you want to just minimize the amount of alcohol that you have, even think about having mocktails instead of having cocktails. That's something to think about for implementing that into your holiday season at your home. Another thing is to delegate responsibilities. Give them something to do. That's great for distracting those family members that can kind of get in the way. How sometimes you're in the kitchen and you may be that person where you don't really want people in the kitchen with you. It puts you in a bad vibe. You can't get done what you need to get done. Then, give them another responsibility. It may be doing a craft with the kids upstairs. The beautiful thing is you can create a schedule, and not anything rigid. I hate saying schedule so it's rigid, but you can create a beautiful Christmas experience where everyone can kind of have their place and it can really flow beautifully, just really nicely. And so think about the dynamics and the personalities, and then try to create a scenario or a situation where everybody is like in the right place at the right time. I will say, if you have that family that is just argumentative, and when they get together, it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. So one thing you can do is just implement a special bail, or do the jar trick, something that will hit the reset button on attitudes. And so when they go to kick off an argument, the two sisters start getting at it, you say, hey, ring the bell. And then they know that they have to stop, and they have to either put $1 in the jar, or they have to do something Christmas related or something to distract. Because when they start arguing, if you can hit that bell or do that distraction, or play that song when you have a special song, when you guys hear that song, you have to stop, whatever you come up with, it's kind of like that immediate reset stop button to help reset their attitudes, let them know that it's not acceptable. But again, it goes back to communication, so that when you're sending out that letter about the holidays, you're saying, how our family is. Let's not argue this holiday season. Let's have a beautiful time. If we do happen to get an argument, this is the protocol. We're going to have the bail. So by setting it up, it's kind of a fun way to address it. It can kind of reset everyone. And it's just a tip that I hope can be helpful if you have that family that, They just gonna argue no matter what I say. So friends, I hope that my tips have been helpful. If you're kind of in that mode of how can I minimize the arguments this holiday season, definitely let me know if you have any tips down in the comments. I would love for you to share. I'm sure all of the other friend girls and friend gents out there would love for you to share also. I do also want to say, join me on Amazon Live every Friday at 1 p.m. We have a lot of fun over there, and you can get there by going to athomewithnikki.live. So I would love to see you at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Amazon. Also, go over to friendgirls.us, and that's my Facebook group where we chit chat a lot about the videos, about the lives, about everything. So that's kind of where you can share pictures of things that you're doing. And if you have started putting out your holiday decor, I would love for you to share with me those photos over on Facebook on the friendgirls.us site. It would be so much fun for us to go back and forth with that. And friends, I hope that you're having a beautiful, beautiful start to your holiday season. And if you are interested in a holiday gift for someone, the gift of organization is a beautiful gift. And I have gift certificates that you can give for sessions with one of my organizers. And it's so great at the beginning of the year because everybody is in kind of organization mode. So you can give it to them at Christmas, and then they're set for the new year. I have packages, or you can do individual sessions, so I'll definitely put that link below also. So friends, have a beautiful, beautiful start to your holiday. I will see you at the next video, and this is Nikki saying goodbye.